Okay, I'd like to now introduce one of our counselors, Carrie Thancroft.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I wanted to read a poem I wrote for this class called The Power Within. Do you remember that mountain that stood before you? The one that fear convinced your heart that you could not climb. That distance was frightening, I know, but you overcame it in good time. You looked inside yourself for strength, believing it was hidden, lying dormant somewhere inside. You were right, it was there, trying desperately to hide. There it was, that evidence of faith concealed within you. You found it all, and on this journey, you stumbled upon other things too. I've seen the will, the passion, and the compromise. I've witnessed your ambition and the fight in your eyes. Believe in yourself, and your struggle has merit. Believe in yourself, and the complicated things, you can bear it. Reaching new heights you thought immeasurable only shows you can defy the problem in the way of solution. You can be happy too, but first you must believe in the power that is you. With elation, determination, and dedication, you have made it through today, and now you have instilled the belief in me that tomorrow you will be conquered too. You are remarkable by the way, in a way that is genuinely and beautifully you. I just want to say I am so proud of each and every one of you, and I'm so glad that there's so many of you here tonight. You are awesome. Best class ever. Love you guys.
Okay, now it's time for you to get your certificates. But before we do that, I just want to say to you all a couple things from me. You all know that I've been really hard on you. And there's a reason for that. You're going to agree with me. Because life is hard. Life is not easy. And there's times that you're going to literally be on your knees. But you've gotten the tools here, as Dr. Fusara said, that you can reach in your imaginary toolbox, take out what you need. Surround yourself with healthy friends, healthy family. Surround yourself with the support systems that you've developed, your sponsors, and you know that you can always come back here and see us, and we're always there for you. You can talk to us and we'll help you in any way that you need help. And I want you to remember, for those of you that were in my motivation class, about the coyote and the roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote. And I told you that coyote got up every single morning. He kept Acme in business, and he made his day all about getting that roadrunner. He had an anvil drop on his head. He fell off a cliff. I mean, you know what he went through, trying to get that roadrunner. He believed that one day he was going to get that roadrunner. I hope he did. I never saw him get it, but I hope he did. But I want you to think the same way. Be like the coyote. You get up every morning and you believe, set a goal for yourself. You believe in that goal. Even if it is just to take a walk. Make sure you eat 3 meals a day. Set a goal for yourself, a small goal. It doesn't have to be big. And by the end of the day, try to achieve that. And always think of Wile E. Coyote. Okay? Okay, we're going to start handing out the certificates now. No random, I'm just doing it randomly. You want to take the picture? Okay, you want to stand over here? Dr. Tony and Bob Alexander will be giving out the certificates. Okay, we're going to start with Cody Bagley.
Talk about time. Good to see me. Yeah, bro.
Sure.
Did you get it?
James Dunsmore.
Go, James. Go, James. Look like you need a hug.
Take a gift.
I told you wanted something to eat.
Shamika Henderson.
Go girl.
Yeah, the battery's dead.
Perfect.
Wait. Hold on, I think there might be a little tiny bit of battery.
All right.
Chad Hauser.
Ready?
Oh, you're fine. You're fine right there. Take a seat. All right.
Kirsten Davis.
Give me a second. Ready?
Does anybody have a cell phone?
Yes.
Thank goodness for modern technology.
That's okay. All right. One more word, the other one.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you, Cub.
Oh, she from Bard, too. Hey, how you doing? You from Polk County. Over there in the Polk and Bean. I know you.
Okay, Andrew Wilson.
There it is. Well done. Thank you.
Andrew.
John Jones.
Got it.
All right.
Elmer Timmy.
Got it. Thank you.
Shane Gromer.
Look this way. There we go. Yep.
Tori Taylor.
Yes, I know I had to readjust. Let's get a few more. All right, one more, guys. Big smiles. Thank you.
Janet Whitfield.
All good? Thank you.
Chris Schubert.
Yeah. You wanna hold that?
Oh, that's great. Wow.
Hell yeah!
Joshua Street. Randall Osborne.
You look like a detective. Don't he? Good job.
Ricky Crow.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Barron Farms.
Ready?
Players do. Mr. Pimp, Mr. Player. You know. Mr. Money. He write the check he signed.
Okay, ready?
You'll never forget
Okay.
this moment. Okay, let's get serious. He still write the check.
Oh,
though.
he's killing me.
Oh, be still.
He still sign it.
I got
I'm still gonna do it.
James Brown.
And last but Last but not least, Pauline Gilmore.
Who's that, Pauline? Give me one of them pins out your pocket.
Don't look scared.
Smile sometimes.
When you're done looking at her, look at me.
Awesome.
Very good. All right, got it.
Great job.
Give me that badge.
Who's the first one?
So you're missing two.
Wardrobe malfunction. Now you can stand up. I'd like to introduce the graduates of the fall.
Turn down
actually,
for
the
what?
spring and fall.
He learned that thing from the song. He learned that thing from the song. He learned that thing from the song.
Okay, some excitement there. Okay, our next presenter is our valedictorian. He was picked because the staff felt that he most represented this graduating class the best, and it's Andrew Wilson.
We love you, Andrew.
Good evening. Good evening, Andrew. Thank you all for coming out tonight. My name is Andrew Wilson, and I will be speaking on behalf of the graduates. I would like to take this opportunity to speak about our graduating class and the personal goals we each set for ourselves. This is important because we have learned that without goals, life for us has been a series of drug use, prison, and also jail time.
Talk to him.
We have worked hard to overcome obstacles in our lives. However, these same obstacles have made us stronger by teaching us to believe in ourselves and our ability to overcome them. Life is really simple. You're here, and then you're not. It's what happens in between that defines us. We have grown in our time at the Talbot House, and I believe that I speak for all of us when I say that as we move forward with our lives, we will remember our time here as a stepping stone to achieving an existence of positivity and goals that enable us to be productive members of this society. We are thankful to the staff that have helped us to move toward success,
That girl, Miss Sue.
as well as our friends and also our family. We stand before you tonight with a sense of gratitude and a humble pride. Without your support, none of this would have been possible. I would like to share with you a little from each one of us. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "We gain strength, courage, and confidence by each experience in which we really stop to look fear in the face. We must do that which we think we cannot." This quote applies to me. I was born into a very successful and supportive family and lived quite comfortably growing up. I went to good schools. I was encouraged to explore all of my potential. I was a classic overachiever. However, when I was a junior in high school, I had a major disagreement with my family and I moved out. I isolated myself from them and began using and also selling drugs. Eventually, I became involved in the manufacturing of drugs. I got involved in different unhealthy situations and was back and forth to Talbot House several times, along with doing jail time. I finally made the commitment to get my life back on track. Although I had been drug-free for 3 years, I was still making poor life choices. I arrived at Talbot House for the last time on Christmas Day last year and entered the renewal program. Today, I stand before you as a person of integrity.
Yes, good job.
I have renewed a relationship with my family. I am drug-free, and I am working full-time in a real estate office as an administrative assistant. I am happy. I'm happy, and I am also very blessed. There are some I would like to thank for helping me in this journey. Miss Sue, from square one, you have been in my corner fighting for me, helping me with therapy, and I thank you and the staff for giving me so many chances. I believe that I would be dead if you had not. My counselor, Miss Carey, she helped me get my self-confidence back. I would also like to thank my mom, who has been my #1 cheerleader, and my father, who has been my rock. I have been extremely blessed and very supportive and supported by a church family, and I thank all of them for the time that they have invested in me and all of their prayers. Lastly, I would like to thank the Lord for always guiding me and showing me the light in the midst of my darkness. Elmer Timmy. Elmer arrived in Lakeland from Lake Wales. He heard of 2 places for the homeless here where he could be helped with his addictions. Something kept drawing him to the Talbot House, and he finally came in as an overnight guest. However, his life was still a mess, and he spent his last bit of money on beer and cigarettes. He decided to commit to the renewal program, which opened a whole new way of dealing with all of his life issues. The classes they offer helped educate him in how to live a good life. He has multiple health issues and feels so blessed that he was able to be treated by the Good Samaritan Clinic, and especially for Dr. Judy. Elmer continues to battle serious health issues, but does so now with a renewed sense of purpose. He is grateful to his counselor, Miss Carey, as she continues to work with him in ensuring a safe future. Elmer feels blessed at this moment in his life and thanks God for turning him in the direction of Talbot House. Cody Bagley. Cody came to the Talbot House needing help with a drug addiction and getting back onto his feet again. Cody is a young man with great potential. During his stay at Talbot House, Cody worked hard to kick his addiction, attended GED classes, and also landed a job at a local fence company full-time. He was able to save his money and move out of Talbot House with a job and also a bright future. James Dunsmore. James feels blessed that Talbot House was there for him when he needed a place to go to work on straightening out his life and fight his alcoholism as well. When he first came in, he was interested in the HP program as he had income. But Miss Sue insisted he needed to be in the renewal program. James disagreed with this, but Miss Sue was adamant and told him to at least give it a chance. James now realizes that it was the best thing for him, and he wants Miss Sue to know that he loves and respects her guidance. James would also like to thank Mr. Jackson, his counselor, for putting up with his attitude at times and being hard on him when he needed it. James wants him to know that he respects him for his stern demeanor and help with getting his priorities in order, listening to his problems, and making him take responsibility for his own issues. He's thankful to Miss Carey for being such a wonderful and powerful role model and for all he learned in her substance abuse classes. A big thank you also to Miss Sharon, who helped him to learn to stop and take a deep breath rather than blow up and lose his temper. He now works hard on thinking before he speaks. James knows he will always be an alcoholic. And to paraphrase Bob Seger, he will always be running against the wind, but plans to fight it hard and always beat it. Randall Osborne. Randall came to Talbot House stricken with grief and downfalls of a difficult life. Randall was overwhelmed by the events of his past and the burden of not knowing what the future would hold. Randall has strived to overcome his battles with depression, drug addiction, and he is now mending broken bridges with his family. He is currently seeking employment, training for his CNA certification, and hoping to get back into the medical field, a field that he loves. Ricky Crow. Ricky would like everybody to know that she never thought she would be where she is today. She was a lost soul and had been in and out of prison 8 times. She had led a very dysfunctional life, which had kept her going down the wrong roads. She believed she finally hit rock bottom and had had enough. Ricky came to the Talbot House and wanted to do it her way the first time she was here. She did not want the renewal program and left the Talbot House. She tried it on her own for a month and it did not work. Ricky came to the Talbot House and wanted to do it her way. She asked to come back to the Talbot House and was told she would be able to come back, but only if she were enrolled into the renewal program. Ricky considers the staff her heroes, especially Miss Carrie and Miss Judy. And yes, even you, Miss Sue. You were hard on her. But when she heard your story, she saw you in a whole new way and followed your lead, thinking if you can do it, so can she. Today, Ricky has a full-time job at Polytechnic University and is renting a 2-bedroom block home with a yard and a lake across the street. For Ricky, this is a scenario she never thought she would have imagined, even in a year. She is in the final stages of reunification with her son.
Yes.
Ricky firmly believes that Talbot House has been a major blessing in her life and thanks everyone who worked with her to get her where she is today. Chad Hauser. Chad came to the Talbot House with a severe alcohol addiction and estrangement from his family in another state. From the time Chad entered the program, he worked hard in all of his classes and took pride in his work around this house. Chad reconnected with his mother, who is now a significant part of his life. Chad gained employment on his own at Popeyes, where he has been praised daily for his hard work. Chad was able to save his money, take care of legal obligations, and move into an apartment of his own, and most importantly, live a sober life. Shane Gromer. Shane was raised in Gulfport, and at age 16, his life veered onto a very destructive path, which he continued to follow until he found Talbot House. Prior to coming here, Shane had lost control of his life, with drugs completely taking over. He had reached a point of such despair that the use of drugs was constant. However, once they wore off, he would feel so depressed, he would continue to chase that high. He was arrested for dealing. A member of the board of directors here at Talbot House, Jay Thomas, is friends with Shane's family. Last year at Christmas, Mr. Thomas drove Shane to the Talbot House. Shane considers coming to Talbot House the best Christmas present he and his family have ever received. With the help of the Talbot House staff and the support of this family, Shane has been able to turn his life around. With the help of his counselor, Mr. Jackson, he has been able to work with the courts, and instead of jail time, he is on strict probation and working toward finding a stable full-time job. He is also especially thankful to Dr. Tony and Miss Sharon, who have helped him immeasurably through the therapy she has provided. The future looks better than ever before for him. Shamika Henderson. Shamika has been back and forth to Talbot House several times. She has struggled with addiction issues and a difficult past, which included a lot of jail time. When she came to Talbot House, she had difficulty reading and writing, but that was improved considerably with the help of the Talbot House staff. Shamika freely admits she had very poor coping skills and also a bad attitude, and she appreciates the staff putting up with all of her issues. She is very glad that Miss Carey and Miss Sue did not give up on her and feels so blessed for all the help she received here. Shamika now also has a good job at Florida Polytechnic and looks forward to more positive experiences in her life. Terry Taylor. Terry became homeless in 1998 when he was released from prison and had nowhere to go due to his meth addiction. His sister finally convinced him to come to the Talbot House and get help. When he was on meth, it caused him to feel that his life had no meaning. He had no hope and had no feeling left. And he felt very isolated from everyone. While at Talbot House, he has found a power greater than himself to help him. Terry feels all of the classes he has taken at Talbot House have brought him a better understanding of himself and given him strong tools to take back out into the world with him. Terry thanks his counselor, Mr. Jackson, for his help in facing the adversity in his life. He has learned one day at a time. Terry has had severe medical issues and wants to especially thank Dr. Judy for all that she has done to help him. She is a truly caring individual. His therapists, Miss Sharon and Miss Carey, have helped him work through his abandonment issues from childhood. They helped him find his real mother, who he had not seen in 35 years. And now he has a relationship with her. He feels he would be dead if not for the help that the Talbot House Renewal Program staff have given him. He looks forward to a life with his mom and also his sister. Terry plans to pay it forward and work to help others the way the Talbot House has helped him with love, caring, and understanding. Terry also thanks the Lord that there was a place where he could come to get with his addictions when he had no money to go anywhere else and no help. Pauline Gilmore. Pauline lived in Michigan for many years and moved back to Florida, where she was born and raised. She had been living at a shelter in Michigan, but they learned about the Talbot House and encouraged her to come here. Her fiance had died up in Michigan, and there was no place she could stay or anyone that could help her. She had no friends and no family. The Renewal Program has worked with her, giving her therapy and help with issues of self-esteem and low self-worth. She is getting involved with the Peace River programs and has found a family here at Talbot House. Amen. Joshua Street. Joshua had aged out of foster care and was left on his own. Without anywhere to go or any money, Josh came to Talbot House seeking help in gaining an independent life. Josh exhibited great potential, and that potential was nurtured by his counselor, Carrie. She was able to help Josh get into Polk State College in the criminal justice program. Josh's dream is to work with kids who are experiencing what he experienced and work with them to achieve their dreams the way he is doing for himself. Josh landed a full-time job at Olive Garden while he is going to school and was able to move out on his own. Janet Whitfield. Janet arrived here in a taxi cab from the hospital. She could not work and had nowhere else to go. Eventually, she began to heal from her medical issues and joined the Renewal Program. She has worked hard on her issues and is hopeful that she will secure employment through AARP. Janet cannot imagine where she would have gone if Talbot House had not been in this community, and she will be forever grateful to the staff for all that they have done for her. John Jones. John came to Talbot House on the advice of his sister. John has been illiterate all of his life, but at Talbot House, he's been able to work with the counselors on his reading skills. Dr. Tony offered him a job right here at the Talbot House, working with the maintenance crew. He is working hard to learn employable skills such as landscaping and tree services, along with other maintenance type work. John's attitude about life is at an all-time high. He has gained confidence in himself by learning new job skills. For the first time in his life, he feels things are working out for him. Sometimes he feels a little depressed, but his fellow peers and the Talbot House staff members encourage him to press on. He has always tried to be independent, but now realizes everyone could use a little help, and Talbot House has helped with that. He will be forever grateful. Barron Farms. Barron came to Talbot House by way of Georgia. He had a long history of alcohol and drug use, and his life had spiraled out of control. He had heard about Talbot House and decided to come here and try to change his life around. Barron joined the renewal program, and his life slowly began to move in a positive direction. His relationship with his son has begun to improve. Barron had visitation with his son every weekend, and with the support of the staff, he began to learn to be a father again. Barron sends a big thank you to Mr. Jackson, who encouraged and guided him when he began to look for employment. He is now working full-time at the Lakeland Yacht Club, has his own apartment, and is also saving money. Chris Schubert. Chris had a chronic alcoholism problem for 33 years, with the last 3 being, as he describes, a living hell. Unable to keep employment or housing, and in and out of the hospital, he was mentally, spiritually, and also physically broken. He entered Talbot House in October of 2013 with a broken ankle. He met with Dr. Tony and thanks him for his compassion and encouraging him to enter the renewal program. 2 months after coming into the program, Chris lost his best friend. Miss Sue's understanding, compassion, and knowledge helped pull him through it. 8 months later, he lost his mother and is so grateful to Miss Sharon for her willingness to give him endless hours and also to listen. Chris is thankful to Miss Judy, who takes care of him and his needs better than any doctor he's ever had. Miss Judy genuinely cares.
Yes, she does.
He is grateful to his counselor, Mr. Jackson, who guided him through many trials and was always there when he needed him. Chris is grateful for the opportunity he was given in working as a shift manager here at Talbot House and the help from his peers, especially Dennis McHugh. Chris knows that sobriety would not be his without the help of his sponsor, Terry. 10 years ago, Chris held 3 real estate licenses in 2 different states and had a life full of lots of material things. However, Chris has learned that true wealth comes from the support of friends, the love of caring people, and most of all, the ability to stay sober. Kiston Davis.
Hey, Twitty. Yeah.
Kiston came to the Talbot House at the beginning of this year with an addiction to crack cocaine. Kiston at one time attended Bethune-Cookman College, and her son is currently a student there. In spite of the opportunities her life has offered her and her educational background, she was not able to fight the pull of the drug. It was important to her to show her son that she could beat the addiction, but there were many times that all she wanted to do was give up and leave the program. Thanks to the staff and her son, she stuck with it. She had a really hard time spiritually and emotionally trying to stay focused after using cocaine for so many years. The classes offered were extremely helpful to her. She now works full-time at Florida Polytechnic and has a good relationship with her son. I would like to mention the names of our fellow graduates who could not be here tonight. They are Brett Howell, Samantha Smith, Sheila Myers, Jackie Love, and Brenda Concrete. A thread common to all of our stories is the belief that change is possible if we are achieving that through the help of all those around us. It is now time to turn a corner in our journey and move toward the next fork in this road we're on. We are confident we can do this. Thank you.
I'd like you all to now join us in singing Onward Christian Soldiers.